numbers. Mixed numbers, have a whole number and a fraction with it. Now, you were taught probably one way to do this. I'm going to teach you another way. Okay, so you can choose whichever way you like the best. It does not matter to me what you choose. I'm going to make sure here. If there's negative, oops, if there's negative ones, I need to make sure I get the negatives. Thank you, you just said it there. Okay, good news. No negatives right off the bat, so that's good. Okay, so adding and subtracting mixed numbers, the first thing we have to talk about is improper fractions. And you already wrote this definition, but let's make sure you have something in your notebook to show how to make an improper fraction. Okay, so if I were you, I would write something really big on my paper, like 5 1/6, and then show how to make that improper fraction. You guys remember how to do this? Okay, so you would take 5 times 6 plus 1. So this would be 31 over 6. A lot of people don't know where we get this denominator. It stays the same, you guys, okay? So don't put a different number under there. It's what the denominator was to start with. So you're going to multiply, and somebody said they called it like the ring of fire once. I don't really know, which is kind of true. Okay, so 5 times 6 plus 1. That gives you your numerator, and that creates an improper fraction for you. Okay, so we're going to use this in some of the ways that I'm going to teach you how to do this today. But I'm going to teach you another way that you can also use to add and subtract mixed numbers. Okay. Let's practice. Let's just do them together. If you don't want to write them in your notebook, fine. If you want to write one in your notebook, great. But you don't have to write all of them. So let's make these improper fractions. So let's look at this first one here. Tell me what I'm going to do to make this an improper fraction. Kira. Okay, 8 times 7 is 56, plus that 3 would be 59 over 7. Nice job. Nice job. What about the next one? What about the next one? How am I going to make that improper? Yeah. Yep. 18 plus my 1, 19 over 2. Good job. And then 5 and 6 sevenths. Somebody else that I have not heard from, make it an improper fraction for me. Can you do it, Logan? Okay. Plus your 6. Yep, 41 over 7. Do you guys have questions on how to do this? Kira? Usually I have you make it another mixed number. I usually have you make it just so you can get in the practice of doing that. I would like you to make it a mixed fraction. Yes. Alright, so this is the first way to add or subtract mixed numbers. So in your notebook, I would write first way to add or subtract. I'm going to show you two ways. After this, you can choose what you want to do. Okay, after this, you can choose what you want to do. I'm actually going to leave that open. Okay, so the first way, and I actually like this way because sometimes I think making improper fractions gets to be long and ridiculous. Okay, so I usually will do it this way. Can I move these? No. Okay, so here's the problem I'm going to do. What I would do is I would write them up and down, just like this. Now, this is probably new. You've probably been taught to do improper fractions your whole life, and that's fine. That's the second way we're going to talk about, but I'm going to show you this way. What I will do is then I'll take a line and I'll put it like this. Okay? Because I'm going to worry about adding my fractions on the one side and adding my whole numbers on the other side. So I'm just going to worry about right now adding 1/4 plus 3/8. Do I need to have a common denominator? Yeah, I do. So let's change this to be 8. 4 times 2, so this is now 3 2/8. Oh, 3 4/8, my bad. 4/8. Is this what you did last year? Okay, good. Good, good. Okay, so now you're going to add up your fractions. So 4 plus 3 is 7 eighths. Now I'm going to work on this side. 3 plus 4, 7. Done. That's all I need to do. Now you could make them improper fractions, and I'll show you that in a second because that's the second way. Sometimes improper fractions works better, like if you have negative numbers, or sometimes that way works better for certain things. But if you have just regular, old, positive numbers, like this is a great way to do it. Now let's say I add my fractions. Do I need to wait? Do you want me to wait? Yep. Yep. Yeah, I had 2 8s. Who told me that? Yeah. Okay. That's what I had in the beginning, and I swear somebody said, oh, did I say 3 8s? Oh, because I was, okay. Anyway, yes, that's what I had in the beginning. Okay, thank you. So now I'm going to add them together. 2 plus 3 is 5. 8. There. That's better. Now let's say I do this, and let's say when I add my fractions together, let's say I get this. Let's say I get 9 8s. Now what? I can't have an improper fraction inside of a mixed number, Desi. Now what? I can divide 9 by 8, and I know this right here, just this is going to be 1 and 1/8. Then I'm going to put these two together. So if you end up with an improper fraction, you need to figure out what that is, and then I can add that to my mixed number, okay? Because I can't have an improper fraction inside of a fraction. It just doesn't work that way. So we'll do some more practice. We'll do some more practice. All right, so let's do this one. Let's do this one. We'll do it together. If you want to try it by yourself, try it by yourself. That's fine. Does not matter to me. Whew. Yeah, in the end. Yes, in the end, reduce if you can. In the end, yep. Because you will be able to do that on this one, for sure. In the end, reduce if you can. So this, you probably changed to 2/10, and then you added like this. And then you had to reduce, so you probably got 10 and 2, 10 and 3, yep, 3/5. I was going to say 2/5, but 3/5, you're right. 10 and 3/5. Nice job. Nice work. Okay. Any questions so far? Any questions? Okay, so let's talk about the second way. Let's talk about the second way. Some of you might like this way better. Some of you might like this way better. I don't know. So you choose what you want. What I like and what you like may be two different things. So we're going to talk about the second way. In the second way, you're first going to make improper fractions, just like what we talked about in the beginning. Okay? So I'll let you write one down. I actually want you to have the second way too in your notebook, just in case. So second way, adding or subtracting. We're going to do this one. And instead of putting them on top and bottom, we can leave them the long way like this. That's fine. You can leave them the long way. Sometimes this is easier because I can see everything, and up and down is kind of tough. So if you want to, you can change denominators right away. Okay? So if we want to, let's change the denominators right away. So what would I use for a denominator here? What would it be? 8. Okay, so I'm going to change this to be 8. That's 8 over 4 this time. So now I'm going to make them into improper fractions. So 6 times 8 is 48. 49, 50, 50. This is 51 over 8. This one. 24. 25, 26, 27, 28 over 8. Okay, does everybody see what I just did? I just completely made improper fractions. Now all I need to really do is subtract my top two numbers. So 51 minus 28, 4, 11, let's see, that's 3, 23. So I get 23 over 8. With that, and then I make it to an improper mixed number. 2 and 7/8, I believe. So 23 divided by 8 would be 2 minus 16 would be 7, 2, and 7/8. So there's sometimes you might actually like making improper fractions versus first doing it with just your fractions and whole numbers. And one, if you have a negative that shows up, I'm going to be honest, making improper fractions the easiest way. That's the easiest way, because then your negatives show up on top like we did in our homework, and it makes it a lot easier. So if you have a negative, making improper fractions is the absolute easiest way to do it. Okay. Any questions? Okay, you try one by yourself. No, let's do this. I'll make up one. Let's try one by yourself. Let's do 2 1/5 plus 3 and, I don't know, 1/10. Use improper fraction way this time. Okay, see if you can do the improper fraction way. Everybody with that in here. Looks like back here. Okay, so improper fraction way, hopefully you changed the denominator first. So then it was 2 tenths, 2 and 2 tenths plus 3 and 1/10. And then you did 20 to be 22 over 10. This is an easy one. Plus 31 over 10. Does that look familiar so far? Do I need to stop? Do I need a second to finish? So then I get 53 over 10. And then you should have got 5 and 3/10. That look great? Okay. Just triggered. This way. Yep. Maybe. Yeah. Maybe you're right. Maybe subtraction is easier to do this way. That's fine. If you'd rather do subtraction this way, that's great. Maybe addition you like the other way, subtraction you like this way. Whatever works for you, I don't care. Okay. Whatever works for you, I do not care, as long as you get the right answer. So let's talk about something like this. Let's talk about something like this. Notice that. What do you notice about that first one? It doesn't even have a fraction along with it. Doesn't have a fraction with it. So you can do it a few different ways. Again. Yeah, what do you got, Haley? Okay, so we can borrow. Yeah, so let's talk about that way first then. So if I have 8 minus 2 and 1/5, I'm going to go back to the first way quick. Okay. And so if I'm subtracting, I don't have anything I can subtract, but I can borrow. Did you guys, when you were young, call it borrow regrouping? Borrowing. Okay, some people call it regrouping. I don't know. So I'm going to take one from here. But what does that whole look like in a fraction then? It's going to look like 5 out of 5. Now, how do I know what it looks like? Because I'm looking at this one right here. Okay, I'm just going to automatically make it the same denominator. So whatever this is, that's what it's going to be up here. Okay, now I can subtract. Well, 5 minus 1 is 4/5. 7 minus 2 is 5. 5 and 4/5. Yep, I will be more than happy to keep that up there, and I'll do another one for you. I will do another one for you. Improper fraction way you could do, but there's quite a few steps to it because one of them doesn't even have a fraction with it. So I'm thinking this way would be even the easiest way for you if you don't have a fraction with that first one. Okay. Do you want to try the second one by yourself? Why don't you try the second one by yourself and see, guys, see if you can do it. And I'm going to change that homework up there because I don't like it. Change this. I knew I wouldn't like that. 10 minus 6 2/3. Okay, so when you borrowed from 10, because that's what you had to do because there's nothing here, what did that become? What did it become here then? Here. Yep, 3 over 3. Now I can do my subtraction, 1/3, 3 1/3. Sound good? Okay, one big thing you got to make sure is your answer makes sense. Like if you end up with 5 1/3 here, if you think, okay, 6 plus 5, well, that's going to be 11 already. So think about if your answer even makes sense to begin with. That's really a good idea to figure that out. I'm going to give you a few more to try on your own, and then I'll let you try your homework. Okay, I'll give you a few more to try on your own, you can try your homework. 5 1/3 minus 2 let's see, 2/6. Try that one. Then let's do 3 5. I always stick with 6. I don't know why. 3 1/4 plus 4 2/5. There you go. Try those. Try those. Oh, the first one's easy. Get your homework. Well, I'm going to give you right now. 1, do 1 through, for sure, 1 through 11. Okay? All right. First one's pretty easy, I think. Like, really easy. Yeah, Maddie? Yes. Yes. You will have to. You can do it in religion. You have plenty of time. Need a few more seconds? Okay. Yep, that's fine. Okay, let's talk about it. This first one, I would have changed this to 2, 6. So then what does it look like? It looks like 2 2, 6 minus 2 2, 6. So what's the answer for that one? Just what? Just 3, yeah, because this will cancel out. 3. Simple one. Okay, so what did you change this to? What denominator? By 2, right? So it'd be 2 6. 5 2, 6 minus 2 2, 6. Then this should, Yep, she was adding instead of subtracting. So these cancel out then, because 2 minus 2 is 0. I mean, it really would look like this, 3 and 0, 6, so we don't need to have this, because it's 0 anyway, so just 3. I don't know what you're doing, I'll have to come and look at it. I'm not sure. Well, 31 over 6, it should have been 32 over 6. 6 times 5 is 30, plus 2. You got to use what you had here and not this one. So you're okay, so this one I'm guessing is 20. 3 and 5 20ths plus 4 and 8 20ths, is that right? So then you would have gotten 13 20ths, 7 and 13 20ths. That's all your homework today is just the problems like this. That's all. That's it. What? Yeah, so if you can handle some of these, so just be careful with what you're using. If you change it, that's what you have to go with. You're not going back to the original. Like if you change this, we're working with this now, not the 1/3.